What is up, guys? It is Sam here, and today I wanted to talk about the Cybertruck. Some of the design and just different features of it. Then I also wanted to touch on something that is not congruent across the platform, the YouTube channel that came out with the Tesla live streaming. So they say something in the slides there, but you go to the website and it says something different. So I just wanted to highlight that, just me being critical. I think it's just a fucking slight miss, but I'm going to touch on that. And then I wanted to touch on how you can take advantage of this to make some money. But first, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you that are returning, it's good to freaking see you. With that being said, let's get into it. By the way, none of this is a financial advice. You should do your own fucking research. This is just my opinion on these things, okay? So first of all, let's talk about the design. First of all, this design is sick. This is a crazy design. This picture is awesome right here. It looks like a Tonka toy almost with, I don't know. It looks like a Tonka toy. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. Such a futuristic design. And look at those wheels. Let's scroll up here to see if we can get a better shot of those wheels and zoom in. These wheels on here are just insane. They look like those plastic Tonka toy fucking wheels, don't they? Let me know down below in the comments. Use the hashtag STOLT so that I can see your comment. And at the end of these videos, I actually get into the comment section and I search for the hashtag STOLT in my analytics so that I can find the questions, and then I can find your question. Anyways, they look plastic to me. I mean, I like the design. I think it's an awesome freaking design. And this exoskeleton, as they called it, if that's true, what they did, think about the gigantic impact this is going to have, implications from that. That's what I was trying to say. If you take a vehicle now, right, and you add on, and then you add on, and you add on, and you add on, and then you finish it off with the fucking body panels, right? Now, that is the foundation. What if you flip that around? Now you have this exoskeleton, which from the name implies that it's much stronger, right? And they demonstrated this on stage with hitting with a sledgehammer. So if you have an exoskeleton on a vehicle, what does that do? It not only protects the body from small like bumps and dings and whatnot, so that's great from a service standpoint, because when you think about this, you want to be congruent in terms of your story across the line, and Tesla does not have their service centers. They do not want to use their service centers as a source of profit, meaning thinking about things like these. Changing the design so that you're going to have less vehicles coming in to the shops. Period. Because it is a cost to you, right? It is a cost to operate the service centers. So on a very macro level, using the service centers to capture the data to understand how to better design a car, I'm not sure at what level of thought and consideration, but that is, I mean, when you think about it, right? To say that your service centers are not a profit center, that means they're a cost, right? You have to fucking rent a place. You have to pay employees and HR and finance and to get all that shit done, payroll and whatnot. So they cost money, and they don't want to make them a profit center. So, by designing a better car that's going to where things in general are going to get damaged less, and you're like, well, this is just talking about the body. The customer is going to pay for it anyway. Yes, but what happens to the insides when you have an exoskeleton? Anything inside of it can be designed to have even less damage to it. Think about if you get into some type of accident, or just like something hits the side of your car, and not having whatever's behind it potentially get damaged from it, even in an accident, right? Think about those types of things that can happen. Think about the Model 3 being the safest vehicle ever tested here in America, but probably even better. Because you have this exoskeleton that can be designed in such a way to shift the energy and an impact throughout the rest of it instead of where the customers are. Like, the design possibilities with this are just amazing. Anyways, it's a crazy, crazy, amazing design. I thought that was super interesting. Super interesting. So this is what they say about the actual exoskeleton. Cybertruck is built with an exterior shell made for ultimate durability in performance or passenger protection, starting with a nearly impenetrable, say that 10 times fast, exoskeleton. Every component is designed for superior strength and endurance, from ultra hard 30x cold rolled stainless steel structural skin to Tesla armored glass. We're going to get into the armored glass in just a second, but if anybody knows what that ultra hard, I think is that their own design of steel? Like, how do you you make steel the same way you make batteries, where you can have, like, 95% steel and then 5% from other things to manipulate the characteristics of steel. Is that how it works? I'd love to know down below in the comments. Use the hashtag stole so that I can find the comment more easily, please. And what the cold rolled means. Now, the armored glass. So if you're watching this, and you may have seen that, like, the windows broke on that, and that's what we're going to get into. What creates the opportunity to make some money. Right? So that's actually a really good thing. These are the types of things and subtleties you want to pay attention to, right? Because we're going to get into all of that in a second. But first, we see the, just for those of you who did not, you see Franz, who's the lead designer for Tesla, throw a like steel, like severe type of ball at the window, and it cracks the window. So then he throws it at the back window, it cracks the back window. And you can hear Elon saying on stage, like, "Oh, holy fucking God," or something like that, or something to that nature. And that was kind of entertaining, but that caused the stock price to drop, right? The stock price to drop because the window broke, because they're coming out with armored glass and it didn't work very well. The stock dropped. This is crazy, crazy polarizing design, right? Elon Musk has already tweeted that they have over 200,000 orders. 200,000 orders for the Cybertruck. That's fucking retarded. It hasn't even been a week yet, right? Like, the Model 3 got up to like 400,000. I could see this same design language coming to the other parts of Tesla. This would be a fucking ridiculously looking Model 3 using this design language and making a Model 3. That would be the most epic fucking vehicle. Or a Model S. Think about a Model S that was like a truck with this design language, but Model S with a very sporty low slung with all these angles, so futuristic looking. A Model S would look dope as fuck, I think. Maybe something like a Model S in like a matte black or something with some, I don't know, some white rims possibly or something. The inside, I feel like there could be more opportunity. Check out this, like, look at this thing. This is ridiculous with this tent thing they have here. And the back, in terms of the truck of this, well, let me tell a little story. I own a landscaping company in Florida, in the process of selling that company, and the had a Ford F-150 and a 1500 Chevy to help with the landscaping and whatnot. And you're using tools, right? And if a tool comes, like, just as you're a couple feet away from the truck and then goes in and like that and hits the side of the truck, it a lot of times leaves a ding or a dent. So having an exoskeleton like that would be amazing to not have to, like, the trucks got beat up so freaking fast because you just toss, like, you hit something and it doesn't, you try to toss in the bed of the truck and it misses and it hits the edge, or like just a tool goes like this and hits it, or a piece of a material that we're using, they just get damaged and wear out. Like if you're using them 6 days a week for 10 hours a day, they just get damaged. So to have something where you have an exoskeleton like that would be ridiculous. It would just be so ridiculous to have something where you don't have to be concerned about that kind of stuff, right? It just goes away completely to have this type of design. Now the inside looks too normal to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Given the exterior, the interior is like underwhelming. Yes, it's only a picture, right, guys? It's only a picture, but we'll see, I guess, when it comes out, because the design of the seats here do look different. This third middle seat actually folds down, which is kind of interesting. And check this out. It has the self-leveling. Look at the gap right here in the front. It's pretty crazy there, that gap. And to have the ramp built in, that's pretty intense. Although the thing that, if you look at this, the ramp and if you look over here, the ramp on here just goes straight down off the truck, right? But if you actually pull up the video of it happening, it's a little bit different. But before I pull up that and show you that, I wanted to come down here and we look at performance and efficiency, right? And at the bottom of the screen, I'm just going to let you guys see the video and I'll read it. Now it says performance and efficiency. Now entering a new class of strength, speed, and versatility, only possible with an electric design. The powerful drivetrain and low center of gravity provides extraordinary traction control and torque, enabling acceleration from 0 to 60 in as little as 2.9 seconds and up to 500 miles of range, right? Interesting. 500 miles of range. It says up to 500 miles of range. Super nitpicky. But if you look at this, I've highlighted it here. The range says on their display that they did at the release, the announcement, 500 plus miles. But on their website, it says up to 500 miles of range. Nitpicking? Yes, for sure, 100%. But by providing that criticism, hopefully somebody at Tesla can see that and be like, oh, let's make that congruent, right? Because the details don't matter, but they do matter at the same time, because somebody could be like, oh man, I really wanted something that had more than 500 miles range. Like, just tiny, tiny little details in terms of, like, this is why I think Tesla's able to also grow, is because of the criticism and seeing what's out there and then using that to be able to learn and grow. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But let's go to that ramp where they drive in the, this is from CNET that we are actually watching this. So if you look, I'm going to just play this and turn off the sound. Thank you to CNET if anybody wants to actually watch this. But I think this is the view bigger. Okay, watch him get this off of here. So to me, let's pause it there. To me, that goes like the back of the truck leans down, right? And then the gate of the truck goes like this, and then the ramp goes like this, right? So you have a couple different angles there. Let's go back to their website. This is retarded, right? Look at the ramp here. It's not the same. I'm just literally noticing these things as I'm making this video. But if you look on the ramp, it's just straight down. It looks like a straight angle off the bed of the truck. The same thing with the tailgate. The slope or the angle of this looks way greater than it is in reality. Right here. I mean, it looks like it's tucking down 4 more inches down. and the front is up 2 or 3 inches higher, and then the ramp just is longer or something like that. Like, where was that picture again? One more time, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Yeah, exactly. It just looks like it's a little bit. Yeah, you guys saw that, right? Okay. So how does this provide us with a trading opportunity, you say? Remember, this is not trading advice. This is not financial advice. You should do your own fucking research. So what do we have here? Well, this is when it happened, right? When the market was able to recognize this news, Tesla went from about 355 down to 335. And it's been in that range. Like, did that finish the first day on the 22nd at around, what price is this? Whatever price this is right here. And then the next day it traded down again. So you're like, well, why does this come out? Because they're casting doubt in Tesla's ability to make an armored glass because the glass broke on stage. And maybe these people think that because the glass broke on stage, it's questioning Tesla's ability to actually execute on their strategy if they can't even execute on the demo. Is that what people are thinking? I don't know, but over 200 fucking thousand people ordered. So, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that's what the customer's thinking. Right? Data shows it's going to be really fucking profitable. It's going to be a very, very good sale vehicle. Right? And the design of that, we didn't even touch on the cost of the design. But designing something where you can get rid of a lot of the other pieces and able to reduce the costs through the design of an exoskeleton like that. Not in terms of just the service centers, but also in terms of the actual vehicle manufacturing. So why does this provide us with a trading opportunity? Well, let's go over some of the options right here, depending on your preference. I'm actually long, as you can see, 14. This is my Robinhood account. I'm long 14 shares of Robinhood right now, but I also trade these options on Robinhood. So you can see over here, I have 3 option positions open, a Tesla put, credit spread. So you could take advantage of Tesla stock coming down in a couple different ways, right? You could buy shares if but I'm not recommending you do this, but like if you think it's going to go up based on your fucking research, not just in my opinion, that it's going to go up, then purchasing and you wanted to deploy a large amount of capital or just buy shares, you could do that. You could also use options. So I do both to reduce the volatility of my portfolio, but also to generate income so that I can buy more shares. And I have currently 4 positions open, but to take advantage, if you know something's suppressed, I like to sell put credit spreads. So what happens when the market jumps like this, right? It comes down, right? We see the market go way down when news comes out because the window broke, right? But in reality, like that's not like reality. Reality, over 200,000 people have ordered this vehicle, right? So somebody's trying to make money or something's happening over here or they're completely fucking oblivious for whatever reason. But more than likely it's because somebody's making money. And you know the long run of what's going to happen, right? We just got over 200,000 orders in less than a week. That's never happened with another car manufacturer, right? Ever in the existence of the fucking world. So when something like that happens, you're like, the customer actually likes what's happening. Wall Street doesn't know what they're talking about, right? More than likely, as I mentioned, somebody's probably making money from that. So what you can do is you could buy a call, right? Or you could sell insurance. I like selling insurance because I like the cash coming in. I prefer to not be long options. I'd rather be short options. And so what I did is, when you see opportunities where the market isn't recognizing what's actually fucking happening in reality, that's when you make money. Because you see the market doing this, but this is reality. Or the market's doing this, but this is reality. and you understand what is happening through some of these subtle little nuances to be able to use that to make money. So this is my account right here, and I've been investing for, or I've been putting money in here for about a year. I stopped funding this a little bit ago, but currently over the past 12 months, I'm at a 44% return on my portfolio. Like, not saying you should do anything that I'm fucking talking about. I'm just showing you this is what I'm doing, and these are the results, right? You should do your own fucking research, and let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments so that we can get to this portion of the video where we actually jump into the comment section and we search for hashtag Stolt. So when we search for hashtag Stolt, we get awesome comments like this from Dustin Price. So hopefully he's not talking shit in this comment because I just gave him a nice big compliment. But Dustin, what's good, brother? So thoughts on how to characterize engage comments by like, disagree, troll, defend. Interesting. If you guys haven't seen it yet and you're interested, check out the awareness ranking on the political candidates, where we actually talk about using the engagement on Instagram, the usage of hashtags on Twitter, and the number of views for a candidate within the last 24 hours on YouTube based on the top search results. And come up with our ranking of awareness of like what's happening in the collective in that snapshot of when we're taking a look at things, right? And so I think I'm on to the beginning stages of trying to help grasp the understanding of what Americans are thinking. I think probably that there will be an evolution in the way that I do this, or the factors that I include to try to understand this. I think the subtle nuances of knowing the context of the actual comment or the share or whatever it was is very, very nuanced because of the context. So I think some people try to use words, but I just don't feel like that's super accurate in my opinion, because I can use fuck, right? But that could be classified as a bad word, but in a good context. So I think context and the subtle nuances of the actual conversation that the individual was having when they were putting this out into the world is super important to actually understanding that. So I'm trying to look at more macro level stuff to try to at least get an understanding of some of this, right? And as I dive in more and do more of this, by the way, I quit my job. If you want to check out that video, I talk about that, and I have a lot more stuff coming up. But as now that I quit, I'll have more time. That was the point, to put into doing this type of research, to understanding what the collective of America is thinking, and taking the same methodology and applying it to investments. So I have some interesting topics coming out around Tesla, so don't forget to press that subscribe button. Also wondering how to tell if a platform algorithms are biased, especially in comparison to your other rankings. Ooh, this is a good comment, Dustin. The other rankings, if the videos that you are ranking counting here are actually the most popular ones. That is interesting. So Dustin, one thing I am changing for the next awareness ranking video is that I am going to not be logged into YouTube when I do this, because YouTube has a profile of me based upon my searches and my user behavior. So I'm going to try to at least get a more authentic representation by using incognito mode, going to YouTube, and then searching for each candidate's name instead of having it underneath my name. But I am also filtering it. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, because I am filtering right to that name that I'm searching for, and only over a 24-hour period. But I'm going to try it anyway, just to see if like it will make a difference in terms of me searching versus using incognito mode where I'm not signed in. And also, how can I start collecting data to help you? Dustin, what's good? That would be fucking amazing. That would be super helpful. Reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or anything, and we'll start thinking about how to do this right now in some capacity where you could help gather the data. That would be amazingly super helpful. So thank you so much. This is from Ankit Sharma. What's good, Ankit Sharma? I apologize if I slaughtered your name. Great job, Stolt. It would be awesome if you could analyze the social media data based on states and how much money each candidate has spent there. More like comparing who spends most wisely. Wise comment, Sherman. Harris, for example, spends all her money in Iowa, and it's better to analyze how she is doing there versus US, as it shows what new interaction views she piqued the interest of. So interesting. I do, now that I did quit, I will like to be able to put out a power ranking like every week, or just thereabouts every single week, where I just continually update the spreadsheets to be able to actually do this and film them and get them out to you guys. So if that's the case, I also want to be able to do the state rankings as well, to be able to cover that information, because I think that also holds very valuable information. Now, in terms of the money and how much they spent, possibly if I can get the data, possibly I do like that. The idea of understanding how much money they're spending versus how much they're gaining in attention. I like that thought process. I think that's an excellent measure of efficiency, or could potentially be an excellent measure of efficiency in terms of capital spend, for a certain ROI objective, right? That's I like the way you're thinking about that. I'm not sure if I can get the data, but I will continue to explore and be open to finding more of those things. And then Sean Barry, I just want to say thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. If you guys want to get your comments answered, just use the hashtag Stole in your comment, and I go through them and talk about them at the end of the videos. I appreciate you guys, and let me know what your thoughts are on the Tesla stuff too, because am I just making, like, you know what I mean? What's going on right over here where it says plus 500 and then on the website it says up to 500? Just tiny little fucking details, but let me know your thoughts down below.